Yamala-Arjuna Trees. So once Mother Yasoda was preparing to churn the milk into yogurt. So she had put all the firewood into the stove, put a pot of milk for it to boil. So Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So she put the pot on the stove and milk. So Nanda Baba, he had 900,000 cows. So out of the 900,000, only 5 should feed on sweet vegetation or grass. And these 5 cows should be milked and churned into yogurt and butter. So Mother Yasoda had put the milk into the pot and onto the fire on medium heat. And then baby Krishna, he wanted to be fed. He was hungry. So he told his mother that he's hungry, he needs some milk. So the mother was feeding him breast milk. And then all of a sudden, the milk on the stove was overboiling. Why? Who can say? So if Krishna is getting satisfied with mother's milk, and that milk on the stove is being boiled to churn it into yogurt, which is more valuable than milk, it has no service. So it was committing suicide. So a Krishna conscious devotee who has no service, then he should commit suicide. So when Mother Yasoda got the smell of burning milk, she quickly yanked Krishna out of her body and pulled the firewood out so that the milk won't spill anymore. And then she took a cloth and she's wiping the area. If you are engaged in doing devotional service, either Artik worship, or you're cooking for the deities, or you're cooking for the Sunday love feast, or you're cooking anywhere, be very careful not to spill milk or ghee. Any dairy product that is spilled, the devotional service for the day is nullified, is finished, it's over. We have to be very cautious when we are rendering devotional service. So when Mother Yasoda yanked Krishna out of her body, he got very disturbed. So he went and crawled into the storehouse of nectar where the used clay pots hung on the ceiling so that he could get some yogurt. So he put on one table on the ground and he tried to reach but he could not. And he took a stone and he smashed it. And then he started feeding the monkeys. And then he went to another butter pot. And then his footprints could be seen in the yogurt on the floor. So when Mother Yasoda, she's noticing the environment is very quiet, what is going on? So she saw that the storehouse door was open. So when she went inside, she saw the yogurt footprint of baby Krishna. And there he was feeding the monkeys. And Mother Yasoda went back and she brought a stick. And then she tiptoed quietly. She was behind Krishna and in front of Krishna the monkeys. When the monkeys saw Mother Yasoda with the stick, the eyes went huge and they were stunned. And then Krishna knew that Mother is there. When he turned around, he saw the mother with the stick. The only thing to escape her wrath was to run. So he was running. Mother Yasoda got a walking stick and she's running. And then all the flowers that were decorating her hair was falling on the ground and she was running. Finally, Krishna, he noticed that his mother was breathless and she's tired, and he stopped. Mother Yashoda said, "You wait here." Went and brought the ropes and came, started binding his body. And every time she did that, it was 2 inches too short. So how much ropes must you have to bind Krishna that is still 2 inches too short? So that pastime is called Damodara. Damo means waist and Udar means to bind. So every time she attempted to bind his waist, he could not do that. So when he noticed that his mother was getting tired, he allowed himself to be bound. So 2 inches too short means endeavor and determination. So we should endeavor with determination. And then she tied baby Krishna to the mortar, grinding mortar. And she went to do further cleaning. And whilst she went away into the kitchen, Krishna could not move. This grinding mortar was so huge and heavy, and he is a baby. So he decided, he saw these two Yamala-Arjuna trees. So he said, "I will get them on the ground." So he could not walk. So he went on all four and he started dragging this wooden motor. When it got stuck between the trees, he tugged, and crashing thunderous sound had emitted, and there two celestial beautiful creatures had come. They were Manigriva and Nakula. Now this will go back a little. These two sons were these two brothers were the sons of Kuvera, the treasure of the demigods. Now if you are a rich man's son, you don't care about pride and arrogance. So their father was a treasurer of the demigods, Kuvera, big shop. So they had opulence at their disposal, they had everything. So what to do to enjoy life? So they went to the bank of the Mandakini river and they immersed themselves in the water. They had taken all the clothes out. Some heavenly damsels also joined them. And while they were sporting and playing in the water, Narada Muni had to walk past. So when Narada Muni walked past, all these heavenly damsels, they quickly covered themselves. But these two brothers, Manigriva and Nakulavara, they were shameless. They did not care because they were drinking an intoxicant called Varuni. This intoxicant we only make once a year at Balram's appearance. So they were drinking this Varuni and getting intoxicated. They lost their senses, they lost their respect. When Narada Muni walked past and he glanced at them, thinking they'll repent, but they stood there shamelessly. So he pronounced a curse. "You two brothers will stand as Arjuna trees in the courtyard of Nanda Baba until you get the darshan of Krishna." So when Narada Muni uttered this curse, immediately they came to their senses. They begged forgiveness. Narada Muni said, "It's too late. Curse has been done." So now in Kali Yuga, if somebody curses you, it's a blessing because no one has the purity to curse anybody. So don't be afraid of anybody cursing. It doesn't work in Kali Yuga. So they stood in the courtyard of Nanda Baba waiting the deliverance of Krishna. So Krishna, he looked at those trees and he started crawling. When the training motor was between the trees, and he fell in a thunderous voice, and the two celestial creatures came. They prayed, they offered their obeisances and respect, and they went back to the spiritual world. Meanwhile, Nanda Baba was in a neighbor's house and he heard this crashing sound. He rushed quickly and he saw the two trees had fallen and baby Krishna had been tied to the grinding mortar. He said, who had done this to Krishna? The coward boys were in shock. They said, Yasoda Mai. Then Nanda Maharaj got pacified. He untied him. And then the coward boys left. So this pastime, it took place in Nanda Baba's courtyard. I have been there to this place. The trees are not existing. So baby Krishna's strength was out of this world. Because if you go to Mauritius temple in Quattrobons in the farm community, on the properties row there's Arjuna trees. They are very big. The trunk is round as a stable circumference. Gust of 350 kilometers wind when the cyclone comes, it doesn't shake. Maybe the leaves and branches shake, but not the trunk. But how come? Baby Krishna just tugged and the trees had fallen. So those trees are still existing there in Mauritius. You can see. So this incident or this pastime teaches us that when you have pride and arrogance will come, and then if you misuse your opulence, then Krishna will he will create an embarrassing situation. So he created an embarrassing situation for the Manigreva and Kuvera because they were intoxicated, they lost the senses, they were educated, but they could not come to the senses or in the right frame of mind when they see a Maharishi, Narada Muni. So we should always be dressed respectfully according to the occasion so that we don't offend anybody and anybody don't get offended. So after Mother Yasoda has cleaned this, the kitchen area, she asked Krishna, so what it is that you are feeding the monkeys the yogurt? And Krishna said, in my previous pastime, I came as Ram, and these monkey soldiers, they left the household, they left the families, they came and fought a great war with me against Ravana. I did not repay their kindness. So I said to them, in my next Leela, in my next pastime, you'll take birth in Vrindavan, Mathura, Gokul, and I will feed you butter and yogurt. Like that. So this is a pastime of Damodar Kartik. Dhamma means to bind and Udar means to waste. So we offer lamps 7 times round the body of Damodar, 7 times round the body of Masuri, Mother Yasoda and the deities, Radha. So whoever offers a lamb during Kartik is indebted to Krishna, especially a weak lamb. So for the entire month until the 5th of November, we continue offering lamps so that we'll be further engaged in his service. And then chanting also goes hand in hand with the Damodar month. Devotees take a vow, but you cannot reveal the vow to others because if you break it, people will talk. So you keep it within yourself that this vow I'm taking. I'll chant 24 rounds during the month of Kartik. I'll get up early, I'll render service. Like that. So devotional service means rendering service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead without a tinge of material benefit. So nobody is coming in and paying us 100 rand to do the arti, 20 rand to do that. No. Is it an intrinsic, natural a value within us that we render service to others, especially Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we'll stop here. Is there any questions with spiritual considerations we can attempt to answer? So yesterday was Radhakun's appearance day. Krishna had killed a bull, Arasta, that was sent by his uncle Kamsa. And then he went to see Radharani, and she said, no, you are contaminated, you have to take bath in all the holy rivers. Then you come to me, plus you killed a bull. He said that bull was a demon. She said, doesn't matter, it was a bull. So Krishna stumped his foot onto the earth and summoned all the holy titras, the holy places, the holy waters, and then it formed a pond. Radharani and her gopis saw that Krishna had created Shamakund. So they took out their bangles and they started scraping away the earth and petitioning the Purini, the principal goddess of water, to come. And then Krishna saw that they're endeavoring so much that at the separation point of Radhakund and where the gopis were seen, he created a small passage so the water from this end can go into that end. So hence it became a Radhakund. So it is the most holiest place in this earth. It is still existing. It is on a Govardhan Parikrama. You first go and take not a bath, you can take a dip 3 times, or you go to you hold the chains and go down, and you bow down on your left hand side, you take 3 drops of water, respectfully you put it on your head, and then walk up. Do not worry about the moss, do not worry about the turtles that are living there, because the bees are looking for nectar and the flies are looking for souls. So be like the bee, look for the nectar. Water is darkish green in color, the moss is growing, there is lotus petals, lotus flowers. So you take bath in Shamakund first and you go to Radhakund. You have to be very careful because they don't allow shoes on a particular area. You have to keep it aside because it's a holy place. And you have to be careful for the monkeys also. They come and steal your clothes, your bags and all those things. So this place is still existing. The pastime was yesterday. It's called Bahu Astami. So if you are in Mayapur and this pastime is taking place in Vrindavan, there is a place in Mayapur called Radhakund, which is the same thing. They brought some water from there and they added it in. Today it has the same value. So devotees usually go at midnight to take the bath. They have kirtan, take prasad, and then they come. So it's the most holiest place on this earth, and it's still existing. So if anybody has thought about any questions, you can attempt.
Yes, thank you, Prabhu, for sharing us the pastime. Just reflecting on what you mentioned about, forgive me if I mentioned the names wrong, Mani Bliva and Nulakubera.
Yeah, Nakulavera.
When you describe them swimming, quite disrespectfully in the water, and then they were drinking some intoxicant, and then you touched on that at some point every year that intoxicant gets made for something specific. I'm just trying to understand. I'm sure that's not the intoxication we speak of in terms of regulars and principles.
And it's non-alcoholic.
Okay.
Yes. So you know how to make gurmi?
No, yeah. If you can please tell us more about it.
Okay. You can make it next year, Balram, the parents' day. You take 3 pineapples, you wash it nicely. You cut the 2 ends off and you take the peels and you soak it in 3 liters of water. The next day, you add 1 handful of ginger and you keep it. On the 3rd day, you strain the ginger and the rind of the pineapple, and then you add honey into the mixture. And you offer it to Lord Balaram. And if it's too strong, you can add stony ginger beer or kui ginger beer. You can make it a little bit weaker. So if you come and see me next year in the temple, I'll have 500 ml ready for you.
And Prabhu, what's the significance of doing that?
That Lord Balaram, he likes that drink because when he went during the war of Kurukshetra, he went on pilgrimage because he didn't want to take sides. He was very favorably disposed to Durban. Then he went on pilgrimage, and whilst on pilgrimage, he was drinking this beverage Varuni, and he got intoxicated. And he told this river, "Please come." They said no. He said, "Please come." They said, "No, but you're intoxicated. We cannot come to you." He said, "If you don't come, I'll drag you." So his weapon is a plow. So he took his plow from behind his back and he streaked a narrow edge on the earth, and then this waters came because he was intoxicated with Varuni. The Lord Balaram drinks, so there's no alcohol involved. So on that particular day, we offer it to him what he likes.
Thanks.
So we do lamp offering now. Shri Prabhupada ki, Shri Prabhupada ki, Shri Shri Raghunath ki, Gaura.